largest man-of-war vessels, and it made Jack jump out of bed to look through the window, and I can assure you it was a wonderful sight for him to see, after being so long with his father and mother living in a wood. By this time Jack dressed himself, and said his prayers and came down laughing, for he was proud he was, because the thing was done so well. The gentleman comes to him, and says to him, "Well, my young man, I must say that you are very clever indeed, come and have some breakfast." And the gentleman tells him, "Now there are 2 more things you have to do, and then you shall have my daughter in marriage." Jack took his breakfast, and had a good look at the young lady, and also she at him. The other thing that the gentleman told him to do was to fell all the great trees for miles around by 8 o'clock in the morning, and, to make my long story short, it was done, and it pleased the gentleman well. The gentleman said to him, "The other thing you have to do dash, and it was the last thing, you must get me a great castle standing on 12 golden pillars, and there must come regiments of soldiers and go through their drill. At 8 o'clock the commanding officer must say, 'Shoulder up.'" "All right," said Jack. When the third and last morning came, the third great feat was finished, and he had the young daughter in marriage. But, oh dear! There was worse to come yet. The gentleman now made a large hunting party, and invites all the gentlemen around the country to it, and to see the castle as well. And by this time Jack had a beautiful horse and a scarlet dress to go with him. On that morning his valet, when putting Jack's clothes by, after changing them to go hunting, put his hand in one of Jack's waistcoat pockets, and pulled out the little golden snuff-box poor Jack had left behind by mistake. And that man opened the little box, and there hopped out the 3 little red men, and asked them what he wanted with them. "Well," said the valet to them, "I want this castle to be moved from this place far and far across the sea." "All right," said the little red men to him, "do you wish to go with it?" "Yes," said he. "Well, get up," said they to him, and away they went far and far over the great sea. Now the grand hunting party came back, and the castle upon the 12 golden pillars had disappeared, to the great disappointment of those gentlemen who did not see it before. Poor silly Jack was threatened to have his beautiful young wife taken from him, for deceiving them as he did. But the gentleman at last made an agreement with him, and he was to have 12 months and a day to look for it, and off he went with a good horse and money in his pocket. So off poor Jack starts in search of his missing castle, over hills, dales, valleys, and mountains, through woolly woods and sheepwalks, further than I can tell you or ever intend to tell you, until at last he comes up to the place where lives the king of all the little mice in the world. There was one of the little mice on sentry at the front gate going up to the palace, and he did try to stop Jack from going in. Jack asked the little mouse, "Where does the king live? I should like to see him." This one sent another with him to show him the place, and when the king saw him, he called him in, and the king questioned him, and asked him where he was going that way. Well, Jack told him all the truth, that he had lost the great castle, and was going to look for it, and he had a whole 12 months and a day to find it out. And Jack asked him whether he knew anything about it, and the king said, "No, but I am the king of all the little mice in the world, and I will call them all up in the morning, and maybe they have seen something of it." Then Jack got a good meal and bed, and in the morning he and the king went on to the fields, and the king called all the mice together, and asked them whether they had seen the great beautiful castle standing on golden pillars, and all the little mice said, "No, there was none of them had seen it." The old king said to him that he had 2 other brothers, one is the king of all the frogs, and my other brother, who is the oldest, he is the king of all the birds in the world, and if you go there, maybe they know something about the missing castle. The king said to him, "Leave your horse here with me till you come back, and take one of my best horses under you, and give this cake to my brother, he will know then who you got it from. Mind and tell him I am well, and should like dearly to see him." And then the king and Jack shook hands together.